Okay, guys, I was never that much of a Van Halen fan, but, the hair, kind of left me. Anyway, thank you very much for coming to AnacondaCon. My name is Scott. I'm CEO of Anaconda, Inc. And I wanted to talk to you about a few things this morning to kick things off. And it's really a state of open source, so Anaconda and some of the other open source projects that we support, like Dask and Numba and other things. I want to talk a little bit about Anaconda, Inc. and Anaconda Enterprise. And then finally, I have a bit of a surprise announcement. So let's get started. I'll grab my clicker here. One day, I think I'm going to be able to think advanced slides, and it'll just happen, which will be really nice. Here we go. Advance slides. There we go. And we'll advance one more slide. How about that? Okay, there we go. So we've seen an incredible growth in the Python ecosystem for data science, and that's the foundation of the company. And the growth is pretty amazing, as you see. R's flattened out a little bit, and Python continues to outstrip R growth. But with that said, R is an equal opportunity citizen with our open source commitments and also with our enterprise commitments. And so over the coming years, you're going to see more and more commitment on our part at Anaconda, Inc. to make R a fully fledged citizen of the data science community. So a little review about our open source software commitments. This is our open source stack, Anaconda Open Source, and just to kind of touch bases with everybody in the audience, we all know that there's a vibrant ecosystem of Python libraries and applications and packages that are out there in the wild. We also have some commercial libraries, like the ones you see from Intel, NVIDIA, and Microsoft that we also wrangle. And then a rich community of people who work through our friends at CondaForge. How many people here are from CondaForge? I was so happy to see you guys yesterday at the reception. It's awesome to have you here. Work with CondaForge to build a rich ecosystem of packages. And we wrangle these packages in the Anaconda distribution and also enable you to install them on a variety of operating systems. And this set of open source initiatives across lots and lots of people is really what has contributed greatly to the adoption of Python and data science. And so anybody who is a contributor to any of these parts of the ecosystem, give yourselves a round of applause. You've created a rich and very vibrant open source ecosystem. And in fact, to give you an idea of that ecosystem, if you go to the next slide, you'll see that we have phenomenal year-over-year user growth. So in 2017, we had just over 6 million active users of Anaconda distro. That's 6 million active users. Now, back in the day when I was at Microsoft, we were very, very happy to have 5 or 6 million .NET and C# users. So these numbers are phenomenal as Anaconda distro becomes more and more of a player in the open source ecosystem. And you can see that Anaconda distribution has taken off very much as Python has taken off in the ecosystem. So we expect similar growth in Anaconda adoption next year. And in fact, you can also see that reflected in the Anaconda and Miniconda downloads. So if you advance the slide, you'll see it's really taken off to where we're doing just about 2 million downloads a month of the Anaconda distro and Miniconda together. So those are some pretty phenomenal numbers, and we're very happy to contribute actively to that ecosystem and foster our participation and other people's participation in that rich Python data science Anaconda ecosystem. So now I'm going to move on to talk a little bit more about some preliminary survey results. So we're putting out a comprehensive survey, and I'll show you the URL at the end, so get your cameras ready and snap it, because I really want you guys to participate. We've had about 2,000 people respond so far, and just a few random questions I'm going to throw up, but it's a more comprehensive survey than what's represented in these slides. So what do you use Anaconda for? You see, it's overwhelmingly Python. But nonetheless, we have a significant number of R users on the platform. And as I said before, we're going to make more and more of an effort to actively and more robustly support R and our open source contributions as we move forward. Another question, what data sources do you connect to? So see it's overwhelmingly still largely all about flat files, but nonetheless, SQL and some of these other data sources are becoming increasingly common over time. One of the things we hope to do with this survey is show trends over time. This is our first one. We want to do it annually and make it a statistically significant survey of all Anaconda users. Next one, which scale-out technology that's used? Nothing for right now. But Linux servers, Docker, Hadoop, Spark, I mean, nothing particularly surprising there. But nonetheless, we expect to see Dask grow pretty significantly over the next year, and Kubernetes. So get your cameras out. Please respond to the survey. Making your opinion known through this survey is something that we really value, and we will publish the results back to you so that you can see the full survey results. Great. Everybody got a picture of that? Awesome. So participate as soon as you can. Love to see the answers to this. All right, so now I'm going to go into a little bit about Anaconda Inc., the company, as well as Anaconda Enterprise, the enterprise product that we produce for enterprise customers. So this is the Anaconda Enterprise architecture, if you will. I want to note that Anaconda Enterprise is based on adding value to open source software. We're not dual licensing Anaconda distribution, nor do we intend to ever dual license Anaconda distribution. So you can see that we enabled you to do three main scenarios with Anaconda Enterprise. The first one is to collaborate. Collaboration is a big part of what we do, and so to have server-side collaboration capabilities across the company in a well-regulated, secure environment is huge. Governance, big deal. More and more of you are finding that we have a core scenario of like, hey, I did that analysis a year and a half ago. What data sets did I use, and what was the algorithm that I trotted out to get to this answer? I need to be able to reproduce it for IT, regulators, a colleague, whatever that might be. And then finally, deploy, which is a very strong story that we have, across a variety of different scenarios, whether it's a notebook, whether it's an API, whether you're doing machine learning, and no matter what vehicle you use for deployment, whether that's Kubernetes or Docker or Hadoop, doesn't matter. We try to support all of that. And over the last year and a half, we've done pretty well with Anaconda Enterprise in our enterprise customers. So you look at this is revenue growth. I can't tell you exactly what the numbers are, but it's on a pretty good base of numbers. And we're very proud of the fact that we have some pretty significant growth here in the company. So our annual recurring revenue accelerated faster in 2017 than it did in 2016. And this is on the back of many 6- and 7-figure deals we did as a company. So very proud of that. And in fact, we're doing so well as a company that we will be profitable this year, which is great. Very proud of that. So why are customers buying Anaconda Enterprise 5? Well, we have 4 major scenarios to motivate customers to spend money on Anaconda Enterprise 5. One is, and these are roughly in equal parts in terms of revenue and customer count. So the first one is SaaS or SPSS conversion. We see a lot of that. In fact, I was speaking to a number of you at the reception last night where you had made that conversion or were in the process of making that conversion. Another one is governance, which I mentioned a little bit before, where you need to have some kind of reproducibility, some kind of accountability. We've seen that a lot in the news lately. Being accountable for your data is not only something you do for regulators, it's something you do to run an ethical business. And I know that Peter's going to touch on that topic a little bit more in his talk. Scale and value from Hadoop. So some of you have made huge investments in Hadoop and want to extract even more value from that investment, so we enable you to do that. Many of our customers run Hadoop. And then finally, deployment. Being able to deploy to a variety of environments to foster collaboration across the enterprise. These are kind of the mainstays of what we do. So one case study, we have a number, but this one is interesting in so much as it's one of my favorite companies, GE and GE Power, producing these gigantic turbines. And a lot of their money is based on, a lot of their revenue is based on their ability to do maintenance on these turbines. And the interesting thing is they were data-driven, but in pockets about how maintenance was performed on these turbines. And so using data science across the organization, they were able to bid better for customer contracts on maintenance. And the second thing is they were able to do predictive maintenance so they could extract value from their customers in a way that added value to what their customers were experiencing, and it greatly decreased the number of failures because they were able to predict those failures in advance. So I'm going to move on to a little bit about education and then a nice announcement. So there's been a big demand, gosh, over the last 2 or 3 years, and in fact, it's one of the roots of the company is in training. And we've partnered with friendly folks at DataCamp, who are also a sponsor here at the conference. How many people are from DataCamp out there? Thank you for coming. I know I see some of you out there. We've done in the last about year, maybe 11 and a half months, 176,000 course hours with DataCamp for data science training. We're very excited about that. And the data science training with DataCamp has been sponsored around 3 linchpin projects: Dask, Bokeh, and Pandas. These are the things that people want to get educated on. We spent a lot of time developing really advanced training material on this, and the demand has been phenomenal. And we really are big believers in the platform that we have bet on with DataCamp to get that material out to people in a self-paced sort of way. And in fact, we're so excited about it, we want to do an announcement announcing that we have a kind of certification program in place that we're going to have the press release, I think, hit the wires today or tomorrow. And we're going to have a certification called Anaconda Certified Professional, ACP, Data Scientist, where we have 7 modules that you get certified on for this full certification. So data import and export, data manipulation and analysis, data visualization, statistical analysis and inference, machine learning, and data science at scale. I'm super excited about this. I'm really happy to launch it with DataCamp, and I hope all of you will consider getting certified as a data science through Anaconda and DataCamp. So that's all my remarks today. I just want to say thank you very much for coming to Austin. I really appreciate it. We make a big effort to make this conference valuable to you so that you can share information, so that you can be here with some of your colleagues, learn best practices, and learn a little bit more about the Anaconda ecosystem. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to my co-founder and colleague, Peter Wang. Thank you very much.